Hi everyone, welcome back to PC-TechSkills. In our last video, we explored the Excel interface and learned about some key features that make working with Excel easier. Today we are diving into a fundamental skill, capturing numbers in Excel. This is a critical part of working with data. So let's get started. When you enter data in Excel, it is important to understand how Excel distinguishes between numbers and text. For example, did you know that how you format your data can impact the results of your formulas? Let me show you what I mean. I will go to cell B1 and I'm going to capture 12,24 and go to cell B2 and capture 10.23. And now you'll notice that 12,24 is captured and it aligns to the right. And you'll notice that 10.23 aligned to the left. Now, if you look at the value or the number that is aligned to the right, Excel will read it as a value. And the number that is captured to the left, Excel will read it as text. Now this can affect your formulas. Let me show you. I will click on cell B3, go to my formulas tab, and then you'll see auto sum. I like working from the formulas tab. So I click on my auto sum. It will select my range and I'll press enter. Now you will notice that it only calculates the 12,24 because it recognizes that as a number, not the 10.23. Now, why does Excel behave this way? It has to do with regional settings. In English-speaking countries like the US, the UK, South Africa included, a dot is used as a decimal separator. But in many European and South American countries like Germany or Brazil, a comma is used instead. So depending on where we are, Excel uses the settings to handle numbers. But what if you need to change this setting to fit your needs? Let's look how you can adjust Excel to work with the dots or commas depending on your preference. Now my laptop, when I got it, the settings were like this. Now I'm based in South Africa. So obviously, like I already mentioned, we prefer the dot. So how do you change the settings? To change the settings, you need to go to File. I'll click on More, go to Options. Go to Advanced. And once you get to Advanced, you go to the Editing options. And then you'll see Use System Separators. I'm going to untick that. And decimal separator, I'm going to remove the comma and I'm going to put in the dot. Let me confirm if there is a dot. Yes, there is a dot. Because my comma and dot are very close to each other. So I'm going to click OK. Now you'll notice that now my values are both dot. So I'm going to change this value and put a comma. So you'll notice that now my comma is on the left-hand side. Let me type the values, other values again on cell E1. I'm going to type 11.45, enter, and I'm going to type 14,25 and enter. Now you'll notice that the commas, now Excel reads it as text, and then the dot, Excel now reads it as a value. So I'm going to keep my settings like that from now on. Now, the next thing I want to jump into, I want to talk about using the smart tag. Now I'm going to click on the plus to add another sheet or worksheet, and I'm going to zoom in. Now, still talking about capturing of numbers. Sometimes if you need to capture ID numbers or contact numbers in Excel, you'll find that Excel doesn't record the zeros, right? The zeros will disappear. So if I type 0124 and I press enter, the zero will disappear. But what if I want to capture that zero? I want to see the zero. That means I'll have to convert that particular cell into text. There are different ways to do that. I can put in an apostrophe first in my cell. Put in an apostrophe first in my cell and type the zero followed by whatever number I want, and I press enter. Then Excel will read the zero, but you'll notice that little green cappy there on the side, on the top left side. Also, another way of capturing text in a cell is that you can go to the Home tab. Under Number Group, you can click on that little arrow, what I like to call a Show More button. And then if you go to the numbers, you have text. You click on text and you click OK. If you want to apply to multiple cells, that means you select that multiple range and then follow the same steps to convert that range into text. Now, if I type 0821 and press enter, it's converted into, that cell is converted into a text, then I'll see the little green cappy. Now, this little green cappy that you see on the top right, sorry, on the top left, if you click in that particular cell, you'll see what we call a smart tag. Now, I know a lot of people ignore it, but please don't ignore it. If you go to the smart tag, click on the down arrow, Excel will tell you that the number is stored as text. Now, like I already mentioned, if a number is stored as text or Excel reads it as text, that means you cannot use it in a formula, right? So when you see that smart tag, it's basically Excel communicating to you that this number is stored as text. So that means it will not be used in a formula, or if you are going to calculate, then you might have errors or inaccurate results, right? So you will decide if you want to keep this as text or you want to convert it to a number. If you choose to convert it to a number, you can click there, then Excel will remove the trailing zero, it will disappear, then it will read it as value. I'll go to this next example. But if you want to keep this as text or you want to keep the zero, then if you go to the smart tag, you can just say ignore, then the little green cappy or the smart tag will disappear, then you can keep your zeros. Just keeping that in mind, that the smart tag is quite helpful when you are using Excel because you can choose if you want to remove the zero or to keep the zero. Also keeping in mind that Excel was designed for calculation, designed for numbers, right? That is why when Excel sees numbers that are captured as text, it will show a smart tag so that you are sure that this is what you want, so that you, when you do calculation, you don't have inaccurate result. So that's all I'm going to share with you today. What we have covered today, we have covered some essential tips for capturing numbers in Excel, including how Excel distinguishes between numbers and text, adjusting decimal and comma settings, and using the smart tag for text conversion. These little tricks can save you a lot of frustration when working with data in Excel. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to PC-TechSkills for more tutorials. And leave any question you have in the comments below, please. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in our next video.